Hey, yo, welcome to La Ventanita C.F. Fresh hot episode right off the grill. Chilling here with Akeem Calypso. What's going on, my dude?
What's up? It's dog o'clock. We got a dog in the building this time. This is my therapy dog now because I'm so scarred by constantly losing, especially the fashion that we just lost in. So I went and got me a therapy dog. So hopefully we'll be all
well,
right.
well, I went to go watch the USMNT win against El Salvador, so that was dope.
Yeah, but you had to
And
go to Orlando to do it. So is that really worth it? Is it?
yeah, dude, it's always worth it to go see your national team play. And if you're listening to this and you've never gone to go see the USA play, it's a dope experience, bro. It really is. It's not Vice City. It's not how Inter Miami supports. It's different, but it's still the USA. It's still my national team. You know what I mean? It's my national pride. So, hey, dude, I got to see Weston McKinney, Christian Pulisic, Brendan Aronson, on and on, Serginho Dest, bro, Ricardo Pepi. I did have to watch Daryl DK play. Yuck, that was horrible.
I
But
mean, he's not an Orlando player anymore, so who cares?
yeah, I mean, well, he started there. So, and I always think like, what if we would have drafted him? Can you
We
imagine
almost
that?
did. We could have drafted him, but we would have
We
fucked it
could
up.
have.
So I'm kind of happy we didn't. We would have fucked that up so bad because I was back in the McDonough days. So I'm actually kind of glad we. I don't want to say.
We would have fucked up his
Yeah, we
career.
would have fucked up his whole career. Like, yeah, I
I
mean,
don't think I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that pick could have changed like the whole trajectory of Inter Miami, possibly, possibly. Like you know what I mean?
mm,
It's a butterfly effect type thing.
yeah.
It's things could have been a lot different, but we're not here to talk butterfly effect or whatever. We're here to go through some depressing Inter Miami news. I guess you're depressing if you're a super fan like all of us.
The
It's been a
usual.
tough week. Leaving the stadium was tough. Going home was tough. But you get your therapy dog. I go watch the USMNT,
There you go.
and we move on with life. Life is beautiful, and we get another chance on Saturday to redeem ourselves and come back at it. So,
hmm
here we are to give you everything you got to hear. So let's go ahead and kick it off with around the MLS. What happened this week, Keem?
What happened this week? A lot happened this week, including Cincinnati getting absolutely dumpstered. But we're gonna go through. Let's go through the standings real quick.
Wait, before we go there, something else did happen this week. Another thing that helped me get over everything was the University of Miami
Oh
going
yeah,
to the Final Four.
they're doing really good in the March Madness on both men's and
Dude,
women's.
yeah, on Sunday I was down in the dumps over everything, right? And then I remembered it was the Elite Eight game, and we're the last game against Texas. We were underdogs in that one, and that was dope. We pulled that one out of our ass.
I got
That was a really good game,
I gotta watch
and
the final games. I gotta watch those.
and I know certain people will laugh when I say we because they know I'm an FIU Golden Panther, but I grew up a Canes fan. My sister went there. I always wanted to go to University of Miami, but I went to FGCU, then I went to FIU.
Oh,
I
FTC
like
has been
I
out
like
there.
yeah, yeah. We had a crazy run in March Madness. My sophomore year there, it
Mm.
was really dope. It was really dope, and I used to go to basketball games all the time and stuff. So I like the U, I like FIU, I like FGCU. Pretty much anyone outside of that, not really that big of a fan of. But FIU always number one on my heart. UM number two, probably FGCU three. But still, proud of the Canes, bro. Rocking the hat.
Yeah,
I'll rock some Inter Miami gear again later. Oh yeah, Marlins opening day today. That was nice
yes.
too. Didn't get the dub, but whatever. We'll come back at it tomorrow.
I'm rocking some
But yeah,
esports gear. That's what Florida Mayhem is. It's an esports team. So
yeah. I noticed that. That's pretty fresh. I like
yeah,
that shirt. Like it's got the trippy design on it. The
yeah. It's
colors.
like a wavy like, and they changed the colors used to be yellow and red,
Yeah, I remember that.
and
So
then
they
they
went more
changed it
Miami.
to these. Then they a few years later they changed it to these because everybody loved it so much.
I think they were probably trying to play off the heat with the yellow and red, but
Yeah,
I like
well,
how
it was
what I went
primarily yellow though. It was mostly yellow with
yeah.
red accents. So everybody calls it the McDonald's team.
Yeah. Well, it looks better now. It looks
Yeah,
super dope.
so this color scheme they have now is really good, and they're I actually have a winning team because they're 4-0 so far. So keep it up.
Hey, there we go.
I have
There we
one
go. There
team
we go.
left. I got one team left.
It's to get back at it, but before we even get to what Inter's got in front of them, let's go ahead and go back to around the MLS. My bad for interrupting
Nah, no
there.
problems. Let's go with the Eastern standings. We got New England, back in their old winning ways. They're back in the top. Our next opponent, Cincinnati, is up in second. We play them away coming up. Atlanta, um, like I said, they got a really bad loss. Their first loss of the season, 6-1. That brings them down to third. Orlando City beat
I,
Philadelphia. What was that? Go ahead.
yeah, Orlando beat Philly away.
Yes,
Uh,
2-1.
I just noticed since season hasn't lost yet.
Yes, Cincinnati have not lost yet. No.
Okay.
They're the only undefeated team in the East. All the rest of the undefeated teams are in the West. So Orlando City in fourth, Columbus at seventh. Sorry, Columbus at fifth with 7 points, along with Nashville at sixth and New York City FC at seventh. Philadelphia down to eighth. We are just above the line at ninth. Then we have Toronto and Red Bull New York, Chicago, DC United, Charlotte, and then CF Montreal in the mud. And then we have the Western Conference.
I'll tell you, I just noticed that. Yeah, we did lose or whatever, and it sucks. But we actually got goal differential.
Yeah,
We didn't lose by much. So I mean,
yeah,
that's
we're not losing by a lot. We're not getting destroyed, but we are losing. So like two, it's like two
Toronto.
goals each game. So it is.
Toronto was 2-0.
Yeah,
Toronto was
we're
2-0.
not losing by
The
more
other
than
one
two
was
goals, which I guess is a saving grace. But onto the Western Conference, we have St. Louis City still undefeated, still 5-0, up at top in 15 points.
insane,
Insane
insane,
start,
dude.
insane. Then you have Seattle at
That's
second
a
with 10
record for
points.
the whole. That's a record for any team,
It's a
not just
record
a
for an
regular season.
expansion team, and it's the third time it's ever
No,
happened in MLS.
no. The the record for an expansion team was, I believe, 4 games.
Yeah, they have the
I think
record now,
five.
5. Yeah.
Five. Nobody's ever done. Nobody.
Mm,
Not the best teams in MLS history ever have ever done that.
yeah,
The St. Louis
that's
has.
insane. St.
The
Louis is
inaugural
crazy.
team when it was 4. They I think they beat Seattle with 4. They
Yeah,
tied Seattle with 4 or something.
it was
I don't
4.
know.
4
I
was
think
the
they
record.
tied
Yeah.
with 4. All right.
And they keep. I
4
was
was the
watching the.
record.
I was watching highlights. They keep giving it away to that John Klaus guy every game. He just stands at the top of the box and he just passes it to him every game. I don't know how that keeps
Yeah.
happening. It's insane. So yeah, we
We
got.
should try it.
Yeah, I know,
We
right?
should try it out.
I'm scared when we play them because we will do that to them. Just give them the ball. St. Louis is first.
Of course.
Then we have Seattle up in second. Then we have LAFC still hanging on there in third. Minnesota,
Not
surprisingly.
even close, Seattle. Not even close, Seattle. 5 points away.
Yeah. Surprisingly, Minnesota's still up in the top 4 because they have 2 wins and 2 draws. So they are also one of the undefeated teams along with LAFC.
With a game in hand.
With a game in hand, too. And then we have Dallas in 5th. Austin doing all right, hovering at 6th. San Jose doing surprisingly well in 7th place. Houston, 2 wins in a row, brings them from last to 8th place. And we
Good
have,
for them.
yeah, good for them, yeah. Then we have Portland in 9th, Real Salt Lake at 10, Vancouver, then LA Galaxy. Draws all around. They're 0-1-3. That puts them in 12th place with 3 points. And then Kansas City and Colorado in the mud.
Yikes. So Western Conference shaping out okay, Eastern
Mhm.
Conference, but it's still really early.
Yes.
There's a lot that can happen. Like you see, Houston won 2 games and they went all the way up. So
Mm-hmm.
with a win from us, we can move up from ninth to who knows, maybe up to fourth. We can have more points than Orlando
Yeah,
potentially.
Houston's
If we get a win and they get a loss.
Houston's 2 wins, 2 losses. So they went from having 2 losses back to back to getting 2 wins back to back, and that brings them from last to 8th. Easy,
Yeah, so we
easy
can go
money.
we can go from bottom playoffs to top half quick, but it's early in the season, none of that matters. But
Mm-hmm.
it is concerning, right? We're gonna go sit here and recap Chicago now. Get right into it. You ready? You ready to get right into that?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah. So, it is concerning talking about Chicago because it is points we left on the table, especially after coming back to get the draw. It's like I don't know. I coach middle school soccer and obviously there's no draws. All the games go to pens or whatever. But like if I get a lead, whether it's like maybe at 2 goals, 1 goal, I'm already trying to sit back. I'm already telling my team like, all right, come back a little bit. Don't get so much in the front. Make sure you got your back four shape. But I think they got too cute and went for the win and it ended up in a pretty tragic night where your emotions are ranging so much in the north stand or wherever you are in the stadium. You're
Mm-hmm.
super hyped that they get the 2 goals. You really like the way they're playing, but at the same time you're like, all right, hold on to the draw because you know what Inter Miami's capable of. Hold on to that draw at least. And we didn't shape well on the back line. And I know there's a name you want to bring up. I don't want to bring him up because I'm a big fan of his, but right now
I have his jersey in my closet right now.
me too. I have like a few of them. I have a few
Yeah.
of them, but
Yet
he's not.
Yellen did not do great, and we were just watching the highlights, and on 2 of the goals, he just wasn't there tracking his man. Like he was just jogging back. They kind of exploited him. Like, but it is his fault. But then again, like we didn't have anybody to replace him because we don't have Noah Allen's injured, right? Who else do we have that can cover that position?
Not sure. He already had Harvey Nevo in, I believe, for Franco Negri. So maybe you could slot a center back in there. If I'm Neville, this is my thing. If I'm Neville, and I know Yedlin, has gotten barely any sleep. He's just had a baby, and God bless his soul. Congratulations to DeAndre Yedlin, by the way,
Congrats,
who
yeah.
didn't play in the last game because he had a kid, and that's
Rif-
awesome, dude.
rightfully
Like
so.
that's a rightfully so. I was surprised he even played in this game. I
Mhm.
said it in the chat where I was like, I'd rather DeAndre Yedlin off 3 hours of sleep, rolling out of bed, like going to play this game, than Harvey Neville starting the game. Now that's starting the game. Honestly, at a certain point, like even seeing in the beginning, like I believe it was the first goal that was blatantly on him too, right? He wasn't marking, and
They
the
both
second,
were. They both were.
no, the first one, the first one he wasn't marking either. So I don't know, man. As Phil, you got to be flexible too. I don't know. You got to be able to like transition and make something work. Whether it's like, I know we always get mad at him at the 5-man back line, but like I don't know, do something like throw a center back in there and just have him sit back a little bit and kind of like have something else moving towards the right, like have some sort of amoeba offense where your formation could shift. Do something, get creative. But I just feel like there's a very rigid nature to Phil Neville's coaching. Like whether he's stuck on the 5-man backline like he was in the past 2 years for like 1.5 years. Whether he's stuck with his two strikers, which is another thing I disagree with. I would have gone with one striker in the last game
In this game, yeah, because we
and
didn't have
shifted more towards defense.
Joseph's on international duty and Campana's hurt, so beef
And
up
I believe I
as
said
a
it on the last podcast. I'm not sure if I did, but I would have gone with one striker. I would have
yeah.
gone with one striker. I would have done things differently and whatever, dude. You live and you learn. Hopefully, Phil Neville learns, and we can move on and not give up points because, like you were saying, there's a bunch of people locked up with 6. If we would have just got 1 point, would have been in that 7 range, just like one step above. And at the end of the season, you're struggling and chasing for points because you're procrastinating. Like, stop
Mm-hmm.
procrastinating for points.
Mm-hmm.
Stop giving points. Stop getting cute. I know you gambled for the 3, but you went to 0. You might as well have kept 1.
Yeah, just for reference, it's Philly, us, Toronto, and New York all with 6 points. Chicago with 5 now,
Yeah.
and then we have three
So
teams at 7 above us. So that's that 1 point. Even though it was a tie, say we get a tie instead of 6 points, we have 8. Sorry, I COVID brain. You have 8 points, and then we're in the same spot as Orlando with a. Do we have a better goal difference than they do? We no, they have a +1 goal difference. We have a 0 goal difference, so it would have been like around 5th.
you know, all the points matter. I know it's early in the season, and I hope we can drift at things and learn to be a little bit more flexible. That's what I gotta say about Chicago. You got anything else to say about the performance?
It was mostly just lapses in defense. Even we had the 2 Yedlin goals that he gave up, and then the one that one I think who did I say it was? That like, I think it was
Team
it
Mota,
was
Team
Jean
Mota.
Mota. If you see him, he's trying to draw a foul on a guy that's a whole like I want to say a good 8 inches taller than him, trying to draw foul back into him, falling over, and he just lets him kick it into the goal. Like lapses in defense like that are killing us. And I think once
That
we
that
figure
was
those out,
horrible.
because that's how we won our first 2 games, is we were tenacious and we were nonstop on defense, and there weren't any lapses in defense, so we were able to grind out wins. But now we're having such lapses in defense. The other not tracking back. G Monster trying to draw a foul on our fucking baseline in front of our goal. Like that's ridiculous. That's why
The three
we're
go-
losing games now.
the 3 goals we gave up, looking at the highlights now, were absolutely horrible
Atrocious.
defense. Like,
Absolutely
uh,
atrocious.
like you're at home, dude. Like, take some pride. I don't know, man. If I'm Phil, like, I gotta get a better read on my players. I gotta get, players are always gonna want to play. It's their thing or whatever. But like, get a grip on this thing, man. I still, looking into year 3, I still don't think he's taking the league seriously. I don't know, and you could say, well, the players are the ones out there playing, yada yada yada. You sent out a tweet earlier this week where you said you wanted to see more of the academy or MLS Next Pro players playing
Mm-hmm.
on the first team
Mm-hmm.
and getting more significant
We,
minutes.
we kind of have to.
The, Here's the thing. When Ruiz came in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was his name. When they put him in, and surprisingly Harvey as well, and I think Kramashi came in
Kramashi
as
did come
well
in at the
into this
end, at
game.
the very end. Yes.
They were moving the ball around well.
Yes, they
They,
were.
I saw a different brand of soccer than you normally see with Inter Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a fresh style into their game,
Mm-hmm.
and I see those, and I see what you're saying there, and I half-heartedly agree because although I do think it would be interesting to put them in and see how they play, I do think they're wildly inexperienced and would give up a lot of like for all the good plays they would have like these crazy bad plays
Mm-hmm.
where all of a sudden we're down like 3-0 or something, and
Mm-hmm.
they're going up against guys who have much more experience, who are stronger than them. I think you have to slowly progress them in, but that's the problem with Phil, right? He just puts them in at garbage time. He needs to
Yeah,
have more
he puts him
strategic.
in the fucking like 80th, 89th minute. I think that's when he put in Kremeshi. He put in Kremeshi very
Yeah,
late, and we needed
he
him
did.
earlier.
We did. We needed him earlier. There needs to be a little bit more strategy to this thing where you're keeping all your players fresh and you're rotating your squads. But I think Phil just depends on his experienced players. And in a league where most of your depth is, I don't know, in a league because a lot of other teams do have depth. But since we have all these penalties or whatever, we have, our depth is academy players and these guys who are getting a little bit better of a chance. But I don't think this chance are getting, like we said, it's not being implemented in the correct way. And this is the issue we've had with Phil for a while. Um, I remember after the first two games, I was like, "Yo, where's everybody hating on Phil? Whatever, it did look good, but everybody knew it had to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew, like, with this system, with what we're doing, and I'll say it to you again, just to close off, I guess, the whole Chicago thing. I do think this is Phil Neville's last year.
I can definitely see that, depending on how things go.
Yeah, yeah, depending on how things go. But
Yeah,
if things go as they always go, like first round exit, um,
yeah. No, first round exit, he's gone. Easy.
like you're getting a full roster availability, roster salary cap available. Why not? Why not go in a new direction? You've been here for 3 years. What have we seen different from him? I don't know. What like I just like I said, it's just the rigidness, it's the lack of adaptability. Um, this is a very the game is always changing, and if you get too hard headed with things, we've seen other teams, other systems doing. The best coaches in the game are always changing their approach to the game. They're always, mixing it up and figure out a way to confuse the opponent. But there's no confusion on our end. Everything's
No,
just always the
we're
same.
easy to figure out, especially
Yeah.
like those two goals that Yellen. Sorry, OJ's tucking himself to bed, so
Well,
he'll literally do that. He'll just tuck himself in and like put the covers over himself.
he's so
He
cute.
like learns how to do that.
He's so cute, dude.
You can see him tossing it back there. But yeah, like we're very easy to figure out because what do we do? And I saw a chart. We basically just run it down the sides, and
Yeah.
then cross it
That,
in and hope for
yeah.
the best.
We never work things in through the middle, and
And
it's always when it goes into the middle with Joseph, it's always bouncing back out through the sides.
yeah, and especially now that we
Look,
don't have Gregory to be that
clean up
maestro.
everybody's mess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
to
clean up
clean up
everybody,
everybody's
and
mess.
that's what helped us is we would play through the middle, and if we lose it, then either Pizarro or Gregory or Mota were there just to clean it up and get it to someone on the wings, and then we could switch from middle to middle out. But now we don't have that with Gregory, and unfortunately, Bryce Duke is not doing great. So
I
I don't
recognize.
know.
Listen. I recognize how great of a player Gregory is, right?
Yeah,
But when you build your team around a player like that and make him a DP, look around the league. We can. I'm going to put some homework for both of us. Let's look around the league and see how many central defensive mids are DPS. I bet you the most you could find are one or two other ones.
maybe if we're being
Maybe,
generous.
if there's any, maximum one or two, right? Because when you have the salary cap league, you have to build those three positions around attacking players. Those are
Hmm.
the highest paid players. Those are the ones that need to do that. Now, what the production you get out of Gregory should be spread around two or three different TAM, GAM, and you know MLS Next Pro players that are going to come in and build depth at that position. So you have depth. So you have people that can come and clean up and sweep. That's usually a two-man job anyway. And you've left it all on Gregory and you've become dependent, and now we're being exposed because
Hmm.
this was a team that was overly dependent on Gregory on cleaning up everybody's shit, and he's not here anymore. you got to move around. Everybody's got to move on. It's not about Bryce Duke doing it on his own or John Mota doing it on his own or even just them two. Everybody's got to fucking hustle, dude. There's a missing step on this team. There's a missing like hustle and bustle, which is why I get you want to see these young kids play. So
Yeah.
hopefully we see it against Cincy, bro. Like rolling right into that.
They should
Let's
at
get
least
ready.
travel
Yeah.
with them just to get the experience of going out there and
You
because
know,
he
we'll
did
see.
he did it a few times where he would just like bring the kids with him.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
So
But you know, if they do that, I think a trip like Cincy isn't appropriate to be honest with you, because this is a I hate calling it a must win,
every
but this
game's a
is like a
must win going for it. Yeah.
to me it's a must perform. We got to see
Yeah.
something out of it.
Yeah.
You got to see a performance. You got to see some some huevos out of them, bro. You got to see
Mhm.
some real tenacity coming into this game
Mhm.
because you're going into TQL. Yeah, you got the first goal in the stadium.
That doesn't
You
matter
played
anymore.
well.
They're not
I
the
think
same
that one
team
thing
that
that
they're not the same
yeah,
team that they were last year.
that's all in the past, and we're not the same team that did all of that either.
Mhm.
The Lizard King is not here
Yeah. No
anymore.
Breck
He's
Shea.
gone.
Yeah.
He's the one that scored that goal anyway. So, you know, Joseph Martinez is coming back. He did score for Venezuela. He, you know, that could do wonders.
Campana might
And
be
I'm
back.
looking. Campana might be back. I'm looking forward to see what this team can bring. You know, DeAndre, I'm looking forward to see him bounce back.
I hope so, man.
We need him.
Because
We need it because
he's
he's an
unfinished right now.
important player.
Yeah, he is. That's the
Negri's
problem.
we didn't talk about the two goals, but Negri and Stefanelli, the two additions this offseason, both getting their first goals was really nice.
Fantastic
And
goals.
I look forward to them continuing it because if we can get a game where those two guys are scoring, Joseph Martinez is scoring, you
Campana
know,
scoring. Yeah.
eh, Neville's talked about it. I don't want to see a team like where we have like a golden boot player. I would rather see it like if we had a
Spread
golden
out.
boot player that would be really cool. But yeah, I'd love to see a team where everybody's got 2 or 3 goals,
Mhm.
4 goals, 5 goals, whatever,
Mhm.
you know, and by the end of the season, everybody's got a good like 6, 7, 8 goals,
Yeah.
5 assists, you know,
Spread it out. Yeah. I think
a
that
team
works
that
better
spreads it
for
well.
us because we don't have a de facto star player, at least right now, because Martinez hasn't been performing. So I think being that's a good streak that we can capitalize on because I think that's how we need to. That's when we are at our best. Because look at the goals. Look at the goal scorers we've had. Christoph,
Stuff. And the second one was who?
Borgelin.
Borgelin.
We've had Christoph, Borgelin, Negri,
Then there was another two.
and some
Wait,
other
wait.
random
Let's go in
players,
order.
right?
Wait. Let's get in order. It was Kristoff and the Borgelin, and then the second game was who was it?
I'm
Wasn't
trying to think.
Joseph.
You haven't fucking scored in years.
Wasn't
I'm,
Stefanelli either
I'm
in the
looking it up
second
right
game. It was Mota was one, I believe.
now. Philadelphia.
I think it's really it was 2 goals.
It was Ryan Taylor. That
Taylor, oh
golazo.
yeah,
That golazo he scores.
Taylor and John
And Coco John, yeah.
So that's four different goal scorers
Mm-hmm.
already. Then there was no goals scored for the next 2 games, and
Yep.
then this last one was Negri and Stefanelli. So we've had 6 different goal scorers.
That's how, yeah,
That's
spreading
good.
you around, yeah.
But now we got to see some of those guys, those 6 guys, step it up, and we got to see Joseph Martinez join the list. We got to see Rodolfo Pizarro join the list, right? It'd be nice to see Bryce Duke join that list.
Yes, Duke
need
needs
it.
to go so bad.
We need it. We need it.
Desperately needs to go.
John Mota needs to join the list. You know, there's
Yeah.
a lot of guys. John Mota can't stay. Like, remember last year, John Mota's first goal was in the Open Cup against Orlando. Like, that's a
Yeah.
little late in the season, man. We need him to start getting it cracking. And I know he zipped a nice one that could have gone in. So
We need to take more
hopefully he
shots
keeps getting
outside the
those three
box.
pointers.
We're too worried about drilling in the box and shooting
Yeah.
it. Like we did that so bad like a year or two ago. We need to be like. I mean, look at Coco John's goal. He just fucking took a shot, right? And I said even after that game, like we need to do that more because we're so predictable. Once we just start cracking balls like from fucking 25 yards out, that kind of switches it up so that they can't easily predict that. And yeah, not all of them are gonna go in, but one of them might get a lucky deflection. One of them, the keeper might go the wrong way. You never know if we're not taking shots.
Yeah, we got to take shots.
I
Take
mean,
shots on target.
and we hold
More shots on
possession.
target. Yeah.
We hold possession and then do nothing with it. We back pass all day. We ping it around. We switch the side, and then when it gets to the final third, we drop the spaghetti. So it's like, I think
Yeah,
our defense is okay, except for those egregious lapses in the goals. But our defense is, for lack of a better term, solid. We're okay. our midfield
It's
is all
mediocre.
right. It's
I'd call it
yes. Okay,
mediocre
yeah, we can go over mediocre. Same thing with
at
the
best. At
yeah.
best.
Same thing with the midfield, and then the attack is toothless. Absolutely toothless. No creativity.
You would say the midfield's mediocre. I'd
Mediocre,
say it's
yeah. Mediocre,
I'd
yes.
s- I'd say it's bad.
I only
I'd say it's a bad
the
midfield.
main saving grace is Pizarro because he is working his ass off. He's not scoring goals, but he is working his ass off and recovering
And
balls and working in that midfield.
even he's like getting Ed to me at this point too. I do want to see a little bit more out of him.
I do,
Um,
but I'm expecting. I'm not
and
expecting much from him.
I do want to
So,
see more out of Mota, and I want to see more out of Duke, and we're
hmm
missing Gregory. So that's why I would say it's a bad midfield at this point. That could change. Same
hmm
thing with the defense. The defense mediocre at best. I'd say it's a bad defense too. I could also call it bad.
yeah,
I'd agree that it's not a good defense at this point.
yeah.
I'd say McVay needs to go. He's a great def player. We can keep him at def, but I don't mean go, but like put him on the bench, and we need another defender. We need another center back. Um, you know, it's funny. I think Damian Lowe might have paired well with Krivtsov,
That would have
but
been
that's
interesting. Yeah,
that's neither here nor there, right? But like a player of that caliber, or whatever, of that level, put him next to him. I think it'll go better. And McVay's a nice def piece. You can put him in, slot him in, utility type guy. But um, my opinion, bad defense, bad midfield. Striker position is that's the thing that we went into the season going into, right? Is oh well, the defense looks like it got fixed, and it does. It looked good the first two games, but we're seeing what's happening now with the defense, and kind of changing our judgment on it.
hmm
Same thing with the midfield. We're like, okay, the midfield, you got Bryce Duke, you got Pizarro, you got Jamota Gregory. That might be a nice little midfield. Hasn't really risen up to expectations as much as just like the defense. And then the striker position, we knew was the deepest. Um, and I think the reason why I would say it's the best part of the team, and it's kind of weird, is because it's not even Campana and Martinez. It's I would say between Stefanelli and John, they're holding it down.
yeah, I agree with you. They are. They're
And
playing much better than I thought they would, and they're holding on for dear life. But we need more. We like I said, our attack is
we need
toothless.
Joseph. We need
We
Joseph.
need Joseph. We need
We
Campana.
need
Whatever he gets
yeah.
fit
We
or
need them.
whatever it is that nagging hamstring injury. God knows when Robbie Robson's coming back. I've kind of written him off as of right now. Like he's kind
So
of just done.
you can argue that even our attack is weak at this point too.
I think that
So
our attack is our weakest part.
uh,
I would say that
you could
right
argue that
as of right now, as of this second, I think our attack is the weakest.
in last game it was the last game it was.
The
I'd
last
agree. I'd say that.
2 games,
Chicago.
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, the New York
Well, I
game,
mean,
the New York game
based on
was a
performances,
fluke. Basically, it was a fluke.
based on performances, yeah, 2 games with 0 goals. That's bad. You know,
Yeah,
there's no other way around it. So, if we want to simplify it here, and we talked about it, we're doing like a little pre-show talking a little like, what are we gonna even talk about? And I'm like,
yeah,
how much we suck. And at this point, I can't say anything else because the last 3 games we've had good moments, but we've had horrible ones as well. So I good teams don't do that, right? I I coach middle school soccer, and it's not like this now, but I tell my teams, you can't be perfect 100% of the game. And I don't expect you guys to be perfect 100% of the game, but the less mistakes you make, the more likely you are to win.
hmm
The more good plays you make, the more likely you are to win.
it's
The
about
more bad plays you
minimizing
make,
mistakes,
yeah,
minimizing
it's
those
about
mistakes.
it. You can't demand perfection, but you can demand an attention to detail,
hmm
a strive, for those details, for avoiding those mistakes, and that's kind of been the whole Inter Miami project as a
Yeah,
whole for the past 3 seasons, and however we're starting is just a bunch of guys that don't seem to be trying that hard, and then Bryce Duke or Lewis Morgan or ex player coming in and really working their butt off. So
yeah,
it's nice to see a Pizarro doing it. It's nice to see that Joseph's not like slacking off or whatever, and it's nice to see a fresh air around this team. And we saw it a little bit last year where they started to look different, but we need more. We need to hold on to results, and that's what we need to do in Cincy. Bottom line, get a draw or don't even come home, bro. Like at this point, I don't know what I would do with a fourth loss in a row. I can't. I can't. This is
yeah. This is we gotta at least get a tie. Like another
yeah.
loss is would be devastating. But I know we were talking about earlier how we didn't have much to talk about. We actually found some things to like run through real quick to fill in some time. We're already at half an hour, but we can run through some things real
Go
quick.
ahead, dude. Go
First,
ahead. I'm tired, but
yeah,
let's do it, bro. I'm fucking.
I
It's
know.
like it's late or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's
It's not
kind of late,
planned
but
by the time
we
we're,
could
we're
run
recording
through.
this, but
Yeah, we can
I
run
don't
through
give
this
a
real
shit. Let's
quick.
do it.
And
Let's do
I'll
it.
get your opinion. So first, I'll run through the schedule for
Yeah.
MLS coming up real quick. I'm gonna run through this. You let me know your
Oh,
thoughts.
that's right. We're gonna. Yeah, you're talking about that. Let's talk about the games coming up. So we got
We got.
Cincy coming up.
I'm gonna go through all the games real quick. So
Oh, you
first,
know all the games this
yeah,
weekend. Okay.
and then home team's gonna be first, just so you guys know. Atlanta versus New York. New York Red Bulls, I should say. I specify.
Let me pull up the standings
Yeah.
to see how like who we should be rooting for.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta versus New York. We're rooting for Atlanta, I guess, because New York's closer.
Yeah. Then we have us, Cincinnati versus Miami. That's us.
Oh, okay.
Then we have Columbus playing Salt Lake, so that's intra-conference.
Rooting for Salt Lake,
Yeah.
obviously.
LA Galaxy versus Seattle.
Wait, where's Salt Lake? Let me see. They're like in ninth or eighth. No, they're tenth.
They're
Okay.
not doing great.
Not too
They're in
bad. Not
10th.
too. They're okay. All right. So
LA
what's the next one?
Seattle, then New England versus New York City.
Okay, so we're cheering for New England. Oh wait. So who was playing in the last game? Was Atlanta and New York Red Bull?
Atlanta is playing New York Red Bulls. Yes.
Oh, okay. I guess we still are cheering for Atlanta because New York Red Bull's like down in 11th. They
Orlando
got 6 points.
Orlando's at home to Nashville.
Orlando's at home to Nashville. Who's playing New York City again?
New York City are going to New England,
Okay, so we're cheering for New England, I guess.
and they are home. Then we have Philly at
And
home
then,
against Kansas City, another intra-conference game.
so Kansas City, Orlando, we're always cheering against. Even
Always.
though Nashville's
I don't
like,
care. I don't care.
right there, yeah, fuck
Um,
Orlando.
Toronto home to Charlotte.
Toronto home to Charlotte. Okay,
Mhm.
wait, let me see.
They're both
Uh,
kind of lower down there. Charlotte has
yeah,
only won one
I
game.
guess I guess Charlotte.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for there.
Chicago's
And it was
hosting.
against Orlando.
Yeah.
Charlotte's only one was against Orlando. Yeah.
Chicago's hosting DC United.
Okay, so go DC United, I guess.
Mhm. Dallas is hosting Portland.
Don't care.
The rest of these are West Coast games. The rest of these are West
Doesn't
Coast
affect
games.
us, yeah.
St. Louis playing Minnesota, both undefeated teams.
Oh, nice.
That's gonna be a very
Minnesota.
interesting game. That's gonna be
I kind of want to see Minnesota knock them off.
that's gonna be
I'm
8:30. So that's gonna be about an hour after we kick off our game.
getting tired of you, St. Louis. Getting tired of like.
Then we have Colorado playing LAFC. That should be interesting.
Okay.
We got
LAFC.
we have San Jose playing Houston. San Jose should win that.
Go whoever.
And then lastly, Vancouver versus Montreal. Montreal is an East Coast team, so at least we got that.
Oh, go so Vancouver. Go Vancouver.
And then for MLS Next Pro, we have Inter Miami playing Philadelphia Union 2 in Subaru Park. That is on Sunday. Unfortunately, neither one of us were able to go to the last MLS
I saw
Next Pro.
Ascona scored.
Ascona did score pretty good. I watched
it.
I watched it at work.
The UM basketball game was at the same time.
Yeah. Right now it's tough because there's so many different sports going on right now. It's crazy.
I don't have the multiple screens anymore either. I used to have it with my
PC. Gotcha.
Yeah, the multiple screens used to be fire, bro. I need it. You know what? I need to fix my PC just to get that going back.
And then one last thing. This was announced recently. The next generation Adidas Cup got announced. Has some pretty interesting teams. I'll go through the group stage. Keep in mind, we won this at the U15 level last time.
Yeah.
So I'll run through. There's a U15 and a U17 tournament. I'll just quickly run through the groups, and you can let me know if you see anything, if you hear anything, you like. Group 1. This is first. I'm gonna start with the U15 tournament. Group 1, Pumas. Yes, the Mexican team. Real Madrid.
Okay.
Nashville and LAFC. Group 1.
Okay.
Group 2, Red Bulls, Montreal, FC Dallas, and Chelsea FC.
Nice.
Group 3, St. Louis, Charlotte, Seattle Sandals, and Arsenal.
Oh. Mind you guys, this is academy team.
Yeah, keep in mind, this is U15.
Yeah.
Minnesota, a team from, I cannot pronounce this. It's a team from, it's a Dutch team.
Okay, a Dutch team.
Noord-Holland, I think it's called. So we got Minnesota, the Dutch team, Houston, then Orlando. Group 5 is Real Salt Lake, Toulouse FC, Toronto FC, FC Cincinnati, Group 6, Philadelphia Union, Inter Miami, Sporting Kansas City, Valencia CF.
Oh, so we got Valencia in our group
So
as
we
well.
got a Spanish team. Group 7, LA Galaxy, Chicago Fire, Genk, also from Netherlands,
Netherlands, yep.
Vancouver Whitecaps. Group 8, New York City FC, Rapids, Colorado Rapids, San Jose, and Club Bolivar.
That's in South America. So
Yes. Group
okay.
9, Atlanta United, CF Monterrey, Portland Timbers, DC United.
Monterrey's cool, Liga Max. Pretty
And
cool.
then the last group is,
Their stadium is awesome as fuck.
yeah. And then the last group in the U15s is Revolution, Austin FC, Columbus Crew, and Club America. So that's the
Cool.
U. Yeah, all
I like
great.
how every group, all the groups have like an international team. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Then the U17 is a little bit different. Group 1, Dallas, Chicago, Seattle, Miami Rush, Kendall CS.
Miami Rush, Kendall CS.
Yep. That's an academy
It's
down
that
here.
one team.
So that's
Miami. Run through that name again. Miami Rush, Kendall SC.
yes.
Can we shorten the name? Miami Kendall Rush SC.
I mean,
Is it Miami
it's just like
Kendall
how
Rush?
it's St. Louis, that they do St. Louis City SC. Like that branding's all over the place. So yeah, this is U17s, by the way. So we have Group 1, Dallas, Chicago, Seattle Sounders, and then Miami Kendall. Group 2, Vancouver, Manchester United.
That's your squad, bro.
Yep, Columbus Crew and DC. Manchester United were in the last one too. Then we have Group 3, San Jose, Flamenco from Brazil, Real Salt Lake, and Montreal. Group 4, Colorado Rapids, Parlemas from Brazil, the Galaxy, and then Cincinnati. Group 5, oh my God. Group 5, Minnesota, Philly, Houston Dynamo, and IMG Academy. There's so much South Florida representation in this group.
Say it one more time.
Minnesota, Philly, Houston, IMG.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, IMG's the South Florida. Who else is representing South Florida?
There's the Kendall one, and there's another team, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh, and this what's this This is U15 now or U17?
This is U17.
U17. Okay. IMG's crazy. IMG's in Sarasota,
IMG's insane. I'm surprised
It's
Weston
like a
isn't in
weird-
this, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Group 6, Toronto, Atlas from Mexico, Charlotte, and then Kansas City. Group 7, Atlanta, New York City, Austin, and then Pumas again. Group 8, St. Louis City, Remo Stars FC. I never heard of this team before. Remo Stars FC. Where are they from? They are from Nigeria.
Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
okay.
That's really cool.
They're a
That's pretty
Nigerian academy. So it's St. Louis City, Remo Stars, Portland, and Strikers FC. That's literally what it says. Strikers FC. I googled it and it brought up Fort Lauderdale Strikers.
Of course it does.
Strikers
course it
FC is a Miami academy. So another Miami team. Group 9, New
Wait.
England oh, you had something?
No, yeah, I mean, good for us. There's always down and
Yep. Group 9
Yeah, that's
is
Sorry.
Revolution. Group 9 is Revolution, Nashville, Orlando City, and Club Leon of Mexico. And then the last group, LAFC, Club America, New York Red Bulls, and then Inter Miami. So that's an interesting group.
Cool.
We got Club America, New York Red Bulls, and LAFC. That should be a good group right there. So
I'll be tuning into Next Generation Adidas Cup.
So just to recap, for us, we have on the 17 side, we have LAFC, Club America, New York Red Bulls, and us. And on the U15 side, it's loading right now. Give me 1 second.
Valencia. It was Valencia.
We have
Yeah, who else?
it's Philly Union, Sporting KC, and Valencia. And we won the U15 tournament last time they held this.
So, looking to repeat as champs this time
Yep.
around, brother.
Yeah, and I've been saying the future is bright. Our academy is one of the best academies, especially we have a lot of good competition with, we mentioned IMG, Weston. We have those other academies I just mentioned. So there's good competition down here. And, iron sharpens iron. So that's actually good for us. So I'm not too worried about the future of this squad. We have some really young, hungry kids that are gonna come through and play really good. And we've already won one of these championships. We can win another, and then next thing you know, these same players are gonna be here 6, 7, 8 years down the line.
Yeah, bro. The Inter Miami project is one that's long overdue. Um, Players are like Alejandro Bedoya, Josie Altador, plenty of players around the whole country. I mean, around the whole world. What am I talking about? The whole country. Players around the whole world. That Conrad de la Fuente, I think he's a South Florida guy as well. Like,
Yeah,
these guys. We're gonna start to see a lot of the next generation hopefully come through Inter Miami and spread out. Start off in the academy and make their way through, because that's one of the things that we all gravitated to and wanted so much in this project. So seeing it happen already is definitely dope. Hopefully, it starts happening on the first team level sooner than later. But yeah, we've seen a few of those players creep up. We mentioned Edison Ascona scoring in the last Inter Miami 2 game as well.
hmm
Happy to see him getting minutes for Inter Miami 2 and getting a goal. So hoping we can get him some first team minutes. I don't want to have to loan him out to USL again. But,
for real.
you know,
And all these games will be on Apple TV on MLS Season Pass. Both
oh, dude, that's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
all the Generation Jesus Cup and also including the MLS Next Pro. That's also on the season pass as well.
Not all the games are on MLS Season Pass. I have to pull up
Pretty
the
much
other one on
everything.
YouTube.
Everything MLS is on season
Uh,
pass. Pretty
well,
much.
no, dude, Inter Miami 2 wasn't on there.
No, they
Wasn't
were.
on there.
They were. That's how I watched it.
I, I tried. It
Yeah.
wasn't on there.
Yeah. It's not. I don't think
How?
they
How
have
did
it
you
like.
do it?
You have to like go down in the menus. I had to like
How
go down
many?
the stream.
How many loops? I had to go down the menu. I went down all the way to MLS Next Pro, and they had like the other game going on and the
Yeah,
other
the
one, but
Huntsville game and stuff like that. But no,
yeah,
I
but
was I watched it at work. It was on.
I had to put it up through YouTube. They also stream it live on YouTube.
Yeah,
Or
that's the thing.
whatever.
They also put it on YouTube too. So if you don't, if for whatever reason you can't catch it on season pass, you can go to YouTube and they broadcast it there
Nothing
too.
ever fucking works on Season Pass. That shit sucks, dude. I'm fucking sorry. It's so not user friendly. For being Apple TV, it's like everything you have to jump through. Like, I want to rewatch a game, I have to go into a fucking setting and change it, and
Yeah,
like
that's really
have
bad.
Lucho explain it to me. The same thing with this. Like, I want to watch a game. Like, luckily, I'm able to do it through YouTube, but like, dude, like, I'm there. I'm on the MLS Next Pro page. I'm looking through every nook and cranny for this Inter Miami 2 game. I can't find it. I want to just watch it on MLS Season Pass because I was like,
I
all right,
think
it's on there.
I think when
But
I went to Inter
I had
Miami's
to
page.
resort to YouTube.
Yeah, I
So
went to Inter Miami's page and they had a replace all, but it's all the way at the very bottom of our page. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, figure your shit out, Apple, please. Anyways, that'll do it for another episode of La Ventanita. Hope you all enjoyed our wonderful musings. Yeah, Audrey's been asleep for a minute. We've bored him with our sadness, and it's even my therapy dog quit on me. That's how bad this team is. That's a dope cover, by the way. I love that cover.
I'm gonna play this right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ashley.
Yeah, for shout out to Ashley always. So always shout out to Ashley. But anyways, that's it for us. Anything you want to say before we go?
Peace out, Girl Scout. Let's get a fucking win on Saturday. Let's do this shit.
For
Let's get back to winning ways. The season's not over. Yeah, we've been through 3 games that are rough, but let's come out of it looking better. And that's all I'm asking for is to look better. You can lose, but
just
like
play
look
better.
good, look better losing
Yeah.
because the way we lost, we shouldn't have lost, and we should have never even had it this close. And you're gonna look forward to the season when you're playing harder competition, and you're gonna be like, damn, like Chicago's all the way in the trenches, or whatever they're gonna be at, and you're gonna be like, I let that team steal 3 points from me at home, and then that's the story of Inter Miami, right? They show up against the teams they don't need to show up against. They play like shit on the road. Get caught in trap games. You called it a trap game, whatever.
I did, and
We,
I
we,
did call it a trap game. I did.
yeah,
Yeah. Anyways.
we live to fight another day. Lo
All right.
quiero mucho.
Yeah. Good luck and have fun.
Bye.